Welcome to part 11 of our holiday of a lifetime. In this video, we dock in Miyako and learn about the disasters of the 2011 tsunami. Well, hello, I'm Rhonda.
And I'm Andrew.
And it's such a nice day in Melbourne today that we thought we'd like to video outside.
Yeah, for a nice change.
Yeah.
Got lovely weather.
Oh, so sunny, it's beautiful.
And so you're looking a little bit of our portion of our backyard.
Which is lovely actually. Anyway, welcome to our video 11, which shows our day in Miyako, which is in the northern part of Japan.
And today we're not going to show you or bring to you any temples or any gardens or anything like that, just for a nice change.
Yeah, just for a change. So anyway, today was actually quite sad and sobering as we visited the site of a very famous destructive tsunami which hit Japan in 2011.
Well, that's right, yes.
Anyway, our bus tour was called Tsunami Remains of Taro Kanko Hotel and Saniku Geo Tour.
So we've been doing our pronunciations. I can't even say the
We're
word
still
pronunciation of Japanese words, but
We're
anyway.
still not very good.
Once again, we noticed the high concrete walls erected to protect against the tsunamis, and it was very particular for this tour.
Yeah, this town. And also while we're driving along, we noticed very small cemeteries, quite a few actually, and they all contain about between 20 and 40,
they're just
40 graves.
Yeah, well, just a site of a house block, really,
yeah,
rather than we're used to such big, large cemeteries.
Yeah, they just sort of, if there's a little spot of land, they just put a cemetery there.
Yeah, so another different cultural change in Japan.
Anyway, our first stop was Taro, which is a small fishing town, which is about 15 kilometres north of the cruise port. In March 2011, Japan experienced an earthquake measuring 9.0 magnitude on the Richter scale, followed shortly after by a tsunami.
Yeah, I think that was very, very well publicised, and people will remember that.
In Taro, seawalls were erected to a height of about 10 metres, but unfortunately tsunami reached the height of 16 metres. So the seawalls were totally unable to protect the town and its people.
Yeah, and actually Taro does experience quite a few tsunamis, but they're never really high. They're only reached about the height of about 3 metres, isn't it? And so in this case, in 2011, the people were really caught off guard. Of course, the walls were, as we said, 10 metres high, and they thought they'd be protected.
Because they thought the tsunami would be 3 metres.
Yeah,
and they thought they didn't have anything to worry about.
So sadly not. And this tour included a viewing of some of the old 10-metre walls, which was quite interesting because they were actually severely damaged, weren't they?
Oh, they were very badly damaged with the power of the water. They just
so
almost
it was
desecrated
quite,
some
again,
of them.
You can actually see the walls just didn't hold back the water.
No, just crumbling under the pressure of the water.
Yeah.
But they've since rebuilt the seawalls and they're now to a height of 14.7 metres and they run for about 2 kilometres, and they've also made them with much wider bases, and the walls are actually inside are reinforced.
Totally reinforced.
So if ever they hopefully never get
they'll never be
another
washed away again.
Yeah. And we actually managed to take a photo of the Coast Guard Tower, and this actually shows the height of 3 major tsunamis.
Yeah, this was really interesting. So if you look at the bottom marker, and that's at a height of 10 metres, and that was a tsunami which hit in 1933. And then there's a second marker above that you'll see is 15 metres, and that tsunami hit way back in 1896. But the top marker, and that's the one that really stands out to us, is at the height of the 16 metres, and of course it was the 2011 tsunami. You can just see how high the waters were.
It's just quite, you can't quite imagine water being that high coming at you. Like it's like so high.
Just a wall of
just
water.
a total wall of water.
We also have some photos showing Taro before and after the tsunami disaster.
Our tour was to Taro Kanko Hotel, which is now serving as an educational facility and a commemorative site. This tsunami hit Taro at 3:20 p.m. in the afternoon, and sort of luckily for the hotel guests, many had already signed out and the new guests had not yet arrived. So the hotel was almost vacant when the tsunami alarm was sounded.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, thank goodness.
That may have averted even more worse a disaster.
Thank goodness. Anyway, the manager of the hotel, called Matsumoto Yuki, requested for everybody to go to the top floor. And this is actually where he was able to film the tsunami powering over the walls.
Amazing stuff. The tour took us to the top floor, so we actually climbed up the floor. Well, we took the stairs. There was a lift. They've actually still got a lift on there in there, so you can actually take a lift. But you'd also run up the stairs, which is probably what happened in the days when the tsunami hit.
Yeah.
And we were actually shown this video that Matsumoto shot, and you can actually hear him going, "Tsunami, tsunami, tsunami!" Well, he's yelling out,
warning everybody.
Yeah. Now it's interesting. The video cannot be seen anywhere else, and is not permitted for general release. In fact, they made sure that we did not actually film the video being shown.
Oh, we sat in the top floor where he took the video, and just on little stools. We had to take our shoes off once again as well, and they showed on a big TV screen, but they were really
an old VHS video.
But they were very strict. No videoing or photographing or anything.
No. But the video was absolutely confronting, and we actually got to see these huge waves crashing over the walls and taking everything in its path.
Oh.
God, and just the devastation of the town, of the waters.
It's shocking.
Yeah, but there is a small section of the video which is actually available for general viewing on YouTube, and I'm actually going to show you a short clip of it for you, so you can imagine the part afterwards though was far more confronting.
Yeah, definitely.
Then it powered into the Taro district with its 10-meter seawall.
"津波来たよ早く逃げて津波が来たよ逃げて
A wall of white water thundered into Miyako. It towered over the seawall.
We actually have before and after shots of the hotel, and the water actually flooded the first 4 floors of this hotel, and it completely washed away the 2 bottom floors.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, 181 people lost their lives that day, and 41 people were missing, and 855 fishing boats washed away.
Yeah, that's
Just
extraordinary,
incredible.
isn't it? Yeah.
And all around Taro are tsunami signs, and they actually show where the evacuation steps are. And you can see these steps, they're like at ground level, and they go all the way up to as high a ground as they can possibly manage,
right.
so to keep the people safe. Anyway, they're slowly rebuilding the town, and new houses are now being rebuilt, but they have to be built to a level of 40 to 60 metres above sea level, which sort of makes sense. So if ever, gosh, God
Hopefully
forbid, another tsunami came, their houses should be safe at least, and the people should be safe, providing it's not even higher than 14 metres.
I remember driving away from that's the whole site of the hotel and everything, and it was, again, we've used this word a few times, very sobering, and you can really get a full appreciation of what a tsunami devastation can actually do.
We also too said, people, not everyone in Japan, but some of these coastal towns, they constantly must be living in fear of, hearing of an earthquake, and then they think, oh gosh, because it will be followed by a tsunami, and you just don't know how high it's going to be. So anyway, it was a good day there, but it was a sad day as well.
Yeah. Anyway, we're back on the bus again.
Back on the bus.
Yeah. And this is the second part of our ship tour. It was to the Sano-Iwa rocks. And these are 3 rocks, and they're not far away from where Taro is. And they're quite unique. One's a male rock, and it's between a female rock and a drum rock. I don't know how you
I don't know why they
determine what's a female and anyway, but it's just over the Sanrico coastal area where the tsunami entered into the bay where Taro was. Anyway, this was good. We actually went down. Nice. It was a really steep walking track. You could get right down to the beach there, and it was a really steep one. But it was
very steep. I didn't go down.
Yeah, but you get right down there onto the beach, and you can see fantastic the views of the rocks on one side, but you can actually see the rocks from the car park.
And there's an observation deck, which is
where you sat.
Which is where I was.
But I went down to right down the beach, and it was great.
Anyway, this was then followed by a stroll along the Jodogahama beach. And this is actually a Buddhist word which means paradise beach.
Try saying that again, eh?
Anyway, oh my goodness, this certainly lives up to its name. And this beach is actually considered to be one of Japan's best beaches.
God.
And it was so lovely. Oh, this beach was just beautiful, and it's actually covered in brilliantly white covered pebbles. And as we were walking along the beach, we saw swan-shaped boats, which were actually available for hire. And many, many people were out in their boats, sailing on the bay.
Along the path, there were many of these tsunami warning signs again, and believe it or not, would you believe, there were beware of the bear signs. So we
weren't aware that there were any bears.
So we asked the...
we're so dumb.
Yeah, well, should do a bit more research. But anyway, we checked out with the tour guide, and she said, look, Asian black bears are quite prominent in the area, and they must be taken seriously because something...
They're very aggressive.
Yeah, well, 12 months ago, actually somebody was attacked in the park there.
And was quite badly injured.
And quite badly injured,
yeah, so she said, no, you've really, really got to watch out for these bears. So we're like, oh gosh, okay. Yeah. And so anyway, before making our way back onto the bus, we called into a shop, and it was selling souvenirs and all types of other various items and lots of food, different types of Japanese food, hot food, cold food, food that's in the freezer.
Yeah, sort of even street type food as well too. So.
That's right, there was. Anyway, I bought something that looked like a bag of crisps. And
that's because you weren't game enough to have the street food.
No, I was a bit too, not quite brave enough yet. Anyway, well, these are absolutely delicious, and they actually tasted very much like our prawn crackers that you get when you go to a Chinese restaurant.
Yeah.
And they were so nice that when we further down a few more days away, We actually went on another tour and they had vending machines and they had the same packet of
So
crisps.
we stocked up on
Had
a
to
few
buy them
packets of
because
them.
they were so nice.
Yeah, we had them back on the ship. Anyway, that was the end of our tour for the day, and we got back to the dock, and there was actually a small little market there selling Japanese merchandise and the likes. But one thing that tickled our fancy was there was a goat there, and it was wearing a nappy. There was a couple of goats actually. So.
But this one in particular was wearing a nappy. We're like, oh my gosh, is this surreal?
So that livened up.
That sort of cheered us up after a little bit of a sad day.
Yeah, we just...
this was the end of our day, and it was a very heartfelt day, a very sobering and sad day, and we sort of now have a better idea of how people that live close to the coastline, how they live, and not always constantly in fear of earthquakes, but gee, it must be in their back of their minds
all the time. Yeah.
Yes. So look, we're glad we did that tour because it really made us, sit back and once again appreciate here in Melbourne we don't really have any disasters.
Yeah. Look, so if anybody's contemplating, thoroughly recommended to that tour. Get out to the Taro and the hotel.
100%
you
do it.
really will get a full idea. If you can get to see that video, my God.
Yeah, oh gosh. Anyway, that was our day in Taro, and we anxiously a bit excited about what tomorrow will hold.
We hope you enjoyed part 11 of our holiday of a lifetime. In our next video, we arrive in the Japanese port of Almaty and revel in the splendour of cherry blossoms in bloom.